I just thought I would show you guys a video of both how I got my hair all galaxy-ish. And then the other thing that I wanted to also show you is how I tend to bring a little bit of life back to extensions, whether that means that they've been a little bit dried out or something. But hopefully you guys enjoy, and let me know what you think. Alright, so you're going to start off with some apple cider vinegar, a spray bottle, and some clarifying shampoo. I'm just using the Suave's clarifying shampoo. It's a lot cheaper and a lot easier for me right now, and I am a broke college student. So what you're going to end up doing is you're going to be mixing the apple cider vinegar into the spray bottle with a little bit of water to help dilute it. If you have some that's already diluted, you don't necessarily have to, but I prefer to, especially since the smell is so strong. You can also do this with your own hair. It isn't going to harm it any. It's just to strip any of the excess product buildup that you have so that anything that you use after will actually properly penetrate it. That way you're actually getting the product used appropriately rather than trying to fix something on top of all that extra gunk. So once you've gotten your hair all saturated, you'll just make sure that you brush through it, and then you'll end up putting it up into a bun like I did. But after the 20 minutes that you leave it in, you'll just go and you'll wash it out, and then you'll shampoo through twice with a clarifying shampoo before you move on to the next step. For the second step, what you're going to end up doing is you're going to take Silicone Mix hair treatment. They do have a couple of different kinds. One is a bamboo and that is the original, but you'll be using a specific one. I will put a link in the description. And you just coat all of your hair with it, and you'll be leaving this in for 20 minutes again. What this is supposed to do is it conditions your hair as well as it adds nutrients back, but the big thing is that it coats the strand of hair, making it a lot more smooth and soft and easier to work with. So I don't usually recommend using it for your own hair on a regular basis because it doesn't necessarily help any problems as much as mask it, but for extensions it's wonderful and it will make them so much easier to deal with, and it's completely worth it if it means extending the life of your extensions an extra few months, especially when it comes to spending the money on them in the first place. If you end up buying a cheap set as well, you can also do this and it will bring life back into them as well, making them a lot easier to work with and look a lot prettier. Alright, so now we're going to start doing the dyeing. I used about 4 different colors, and I ended up just starting with the lightest color that I could think of that was a blue tone, simply because blues tend to wash out a lot easier, and also they're the most likely to get color from other colors stuck in them. So if I did a pink, and it had a high chance of getting in the way, so I start off with a turquoise. I'm just using Arctic Fox's turquoise, and I'm just putting that in kind of randomly wherever I feel that it would look good. Turquoise is my favorite color, so I definitely had to make sure that I put some in my bangs at some point, but as well as the back. I try to make sure that I take a big chunk in the sense that I also include my hair, so it'll help blend it as well, and so the layers aren't as obvious since my hair is pretty short right now, all things considered. And so you'll just kind of work in a lot of that color. And once you're done with this, you'll move on to another color. There's really no right or wrong about where you put it or how much. And even if you get it on some pieces of hair, you'll be able to blend it in with other colors down the road, which will actually add to the effect as well. So don't worry about it if it's not super perfect. It's gonna look good either way. Alright. Now I'm going to be starting to use some Manic Panic's Rockabilly Blue. I use Rockabilly Blue as well as the Shocking Blue kind of together, considering I'm using mostly dyes that I already had lying around, and I have a lot of both, and so rather than just using one or the other, I used both because I kind of wanted there to be a lot of blue, a lot of dark blue, especially since I'm going for a galaxy look, and while Shocking Blue is a bit darker, it does definitely add to the fade. I did choose to do a lot of the blue simply because it's the closest thing that I had to a black without being directly black, and so since in a galaxy there's a lot of those dark blues and, well, black, considering it's dark matter, I decided to do a lot of that and blend it into the turquoise some in areas, as well as take some pretty big chunks in the back and in the bottom few layers to make sure that I had a lot of that. And as you can tell, I fought with a lid because my gloves are covered in dye. Now I'm going to end up switching out gloves because I'm going from the blue tones to a bit warmer tone colors, and I didn't want to have any excess transfer of color across. So I switch into new gloves, and I start with the Hot Pink from Manic Panic. And I definitely wanted to make sure that I had a lot of diversity in color in the very front, and so I made sure that I did that part first, and I got some pink and some turquoise in there as well. Pink is a very strong color, and it's also the highest contrasting color from all of the ones that I'll be using, so I didn't use a whole lot. In hindsight, maybe I should have used a bit more, but I didn't want it to be overwhelming, and so I chose to use it as more of a blending color or a few extra little pieces throughout. I also had to a few times stand up to make sure in the mirror that I was getting everything correctly done because I can't see the back of my hair to save my life. So I apologize for that a few times throughout, but I definitely had to do that to make sure I didn't have some massive gap of color that I didn't even put in. Alright, at this point I started using Arctic Fox's Purple Rain, I believe, and with this I ended up just filling in the rest of the spots that hadn't been colored. And this is why I'll actually be standing up a lot to make sure that I'm getting it right. That's why there's some cuts in there, but I ended up filling in every other gap that I could find and helped make sure I blended areas really well. And then I went back over it, just a double take to make sure I got all the purple I needed. And then lastly, I ended up running through with a little bit more purple and a little bit of turquoise to make sure that I got any extra areas covered just in case. And after that, I go and I put the shower cap back on to hopefully keep it all as wet as possible, because when it dries out, it doesn't keep it saturated as well. And so I put my hair up, I put it in, and I'm going to be letting this stuff sit for as long as I can, which for this one is about an hour. So there you guys go. I hope you guys really enjoyed. I'm actually really happy with how my hair came out. I'm hoping I'll do more videos of how I do my hair from the future, and if you guys want to see more, just let me know. If you don't already, subscribe. If you want, you can follow me on any of my other social media. All of that's going to be down below in the description. That includes, I've actually changed my Instagram just slightly, and I've started doing Twitch. So if anyone's interested in any of those, just go ahead and follow me there. Other than that, I hope you guys have a wonderful week, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye, everybody.